What's going on, Knuckleheads? GCam Gaming here with another LEGO Legacies Unboxed video for you, and today is Free to Play Friday. And today I'm going to be covering a unit that's free to play, easy to farm, and super competitive. Spaceman Reed. I love this unit. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to put too much into farming him up yet because the majority of my resources have been going into farming up my bucks. But if you are a player who is completely free to play, or you're just getting in the game and you want to be completely free to play, this is a guy who is easy to farm and super competitive. Okay, when you first get him, you're just like, he's alright. He scales very well, right? So when I first started using Space Steering, I was like, oh, yeah, he's okay. He's not very good low level. He's like the anti-Chicken Man. Like Chicken Suit Man, like early game, amazing. Late game, meh. Spaceman Reed, early game, meh. Late game, amazing. That's what he does. And some of you are just like, alright, stop rambling on. Tell me what this guy does. Alright, so I don't have his full 7-star stats, so I'm not going to go too much into the stats. But he is a relatively strong attacker. He has some good attack stats. I'll have to actually look those up. I wish I had done that before I opened to do a new video. But let's talk about his skills. Right, so his basic is a awesome basic, 90% damage to a target foe, and has a 40% chance to gain critical chance up for 2 turns. So there's a chance he can get his critical chance up, he can start doing crits, and that critical chance up is going to affect his other skills in a positive way. But the bread and butter is right here. First skill I maxed out, only skill I maxed out, my Spaceman Reed. The antenna gun, 120% damage, and a guaranteed stun for 1 turn. Once you get it to, I believe it's around level 4. No, it's around level... Once you get him to level 3 and he's inflicting that guaranteed stun, he becomes a killer. Stun is the best status effect in the game. And honestly, there have been some campaign missions that I've used him for. I think the daily events for the attackers and also the Gorwell's Escape. I've won some of those, and a lot of my strategy is built out of using Spaceman Reed. You need to be building him for the Gorwell's Escape because you want to be doing those daily events, and I use him for my attacker team in the whatever the daily things that come where you can get the attacker, you can get the apples. You know what I'm talking about. His ultimate is nothing to caulk at either. All right, 110% damage to a target foe, 10% bonus damage for each buff on them with a maximum of 7 buffs. If Reed has critical chance up, which he gets from his basic, clear all buffs from the target. Anytime you can get a buff clear, you want to be using that. One of the best abilities in the game, buff clear, next to stun. You know I'm all about stun, baby, because stun turns off passives on top of other things. Really good ability. He hits pretty hard with this. He's not a weak unit. And look at him. He's got a little walkie-talkie. His passive, I haven't put any points into his passive. And the reason for that is I don't run space. So I'm not going to be wasting resources on him right now for his passive. I can put that in later if I ever decide to have a space team. But when you max out his passive, right, at the end of his turn, he increases his pep by 15% if there is another active space hero. So if you're playing just him and Locust together, and Locust is another great hero who will be covered on Free to Play Friday at some point. I know you want that, baby. Right? He's getting that 15% pep. At the start of battle, his critical chance is increased by 5% for each classic space hero. He's the only classic space hero right now. But I might have some insider information that I cannot reveal, or I may or may not have some insider information that there are some classic space units coming into the game, and they are going to be absolutely filthy, right? So the classic space team is going to be a team to reckon with. I'm not saying anything of who they are or what they do, or if I do or do not have this information, but I do have this information, and I'm telling you that space is going to be filthy at some point. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I am not saying that I have it, though. Right, so that is my man, Spaceman Reed. But the reason I want to cover him on Free to Play Friday is not just because he is free to play, it's because he is free to play and, most importantly, easy to farm. 2 monolith waste nodes. Monolith waste is great. You get 12 attempts a day, and it only costs you half the energy that you would get on a hard node, right? These are regular nodes. First node is only going to be 6 energy, 6 monolith waste energy to farm out 12 attempts to farm them. And I'm pretty sure the drop rate on these earlier nodes is way better because I always get better drop rates on them. So that alone makes him super easy to farm. You're also farming ability elixirs along with him. You're getting those level 1 ability elixirs. They're always going to be useful, especially that you want to build lots of units, lots of different teams. Those level 1s are going to come in handy because I don't need level 1 elixirs for my pirate team anymore. And who am I building next is probably Castle. I don't need level 1 elixirs for them anymore. I need them for the team I'm going to be building down the line, right? My plan, build city. I need those elixirs. I want to get my Spaceman Reed up if I'm building space. I'm going to need those elixirs to get space up. Then he's also on the 3rd level. It's an 8 energy, so only a little bit more. Still 12 attempts. I think the drop rate is not as good for these nodes, for tiles. May or may not be right there. Just my little theory. But you're also getting level 2 ability elixirs, and that's something really great to have too. I think if you're free to play, we talked about last week, I talked about Great White is a solid unit for free to play because you're going to have to farm him up anyway because this is such a good node. And I think if you're free to play and you're wondering who do I start farming right now, just put all of your farming resources into Spaceman Reed. He's going to be your main free to play DPS unit because Highwayman's going to take you forever, Yuppie's going to take you forever, but you will have Spaceman Reed. Get him up first. He'll be able to carry you. You'll be able to have at least a decent spot in your arena at some point. You're not going to be top 10 or top 20 with a full free to play team. It's just probably not going to happen. Right? Not for a really long time because the really good free-to-play units take a long time to farm up. But this is a unit that can carry you and you can get more arena points and you can really use him to start taking you to the promised land with other units, and he's always going to be useful. I would honestly play him on any team. Play him on any team. He's a great DPS unit and he's got that stun that's just really fantastic. I love Spaceman Reed. Can't wait till I get him to 7 stars. Well, that's all I got for you today, Knuckleheads. Please remember to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that little bell for some notifications, and as always, remember to knuckle up.
She blocked me on Instagram, Snapchat, I don't give a damn about that. I can see your face, still feel the same. I don't feel the need to forget.